Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Max Crean, and this is going to be the first video in a series that I'm doing, going over some of the little tips and tricks that I use while I'm writing music. So that's covering some stuff in Ableton Live, some basic composition techniques, as well as some recording too, because why not? So today I just wanted to talk a little bit about reverse delay. Now, some of you may be familiar with this effect. As it reads on the tin, more or less, it's a delay in which each of the echoes is a reversed copy of the original sound put into the delay. So the origins of this sound are a little bit tricky to pin down, but more or less it's been in use since the 60s, so the era of tape recording, wherein the tape itself would be flipped over and re-recorded as a delay to the original audio. These days you see the effect mostly in guitar pedals, often bundled in with delay pedals themselves. My delay pedal has a reverse function as well. And this is all done digitally nowadays. So this is done with something called an input buffer, wherein a certain period of audio being put into the device is recorded in this buffer, flipped around, and played back as a delay in real time. Now, like I said, this is something that you find mostly in delay pedals or in other pieces of hardware kit. To do it in a DAW is a little bit more complicated. So I just wanted to show you, this is what I've come up with as a digital DAW equivalent to a reverse delay pedal. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the computer to see how I went about replicating this sound. All right, so here we are in Ableton Live, and this is the track that you just heard. So the sound itself is just a really nice little Rhodes replica sound. And the delay itself then sounds like this. Now, if we go ahead and open this up, we can see what's going on here. So the core of this delay is this flipper. Now, this is a plugin made by Soundhack. They make a variety of free plugins that are really excellent. And this particular one acts as the input buffer that I referenced earlier in other digital boxes. So this takes the audio put into it. You can see on the flip length slider here, this lets you set the length of the input buffer, so how much sound it records, and then flips around to play back. Now, it doesn't do the whole delay in and of itself. It's not a reverse delay plugin. So we have to pair it with, you can see here, simple delay and reverb. So just Ableton stock plugins, these will work with any delay and reverb. The reverb itself is also optional. It's just to make it sound pretty, because we like that. So just to give you a demonstration of what the flipper itself sounds like, why don't we go ahead and give you a better example outside of this delay. Go ahead and put it on my voice. See how that goes. If I can say it.
Yes.
Wow, this is really difficult. Give me a second. Okay, so now it is incredibly difficult to continue your speech while it's being played back to you reversed. So here we have this copy of my normal voice, and then we have another copy going through the flipper itself. And you can hear it's taking parts of my voice, it's taking a certain snippet of it and reversing it and playing it back in real time. So if I do a more distinctive sound, like ooh, 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 and you can see if I change the flip length itself, it's taking smaller and smaller snippets of that and reversing them to a point where it sounds almost like a slapback delay. If I take it out longer, you can see it's reversing even longer portions of my voice. So that's what the plugin. So that's what the plugin does on its own. Now, when we put it in the context of this effects rack that I have going on here, basically all that's happening here, you can see there's a lot of mapping going on with the macros and things like that. But really all that's happening is the original audio is going into the effects rack, getting delayed just like it would through a regular delay. The delay chunks themselves are being flipped around. So this could be done, you could also put the flipper before the delay. It gives a slightly different sound. Personally, I think the delay before the flipper gives kind of the most accurate sound. And then all that's happening after that is just a reverb. And the majority of these controls here that I have mapped are just to the various times, the same that you would have on any kind of delay, reverb, spatial effects rack. So delay times, feedback, the dry wet of the delay itself, and you can see I have also mapped here the flip times, the length of that input buffer in Flipper, so that we can change around how things sound there. So if I play around with some of these controls, you can see that gives actually a really interesting sound. I really enjoy that. Kind of a little bit of a water droplet kind of delay there. That's really nice. We put up the delay, dry wet all the way. Different sound. We crank the feedback all the way up. Instant ambient soundscape. Don't even need to do anything. It's phenomenal. So that's it, really, for the delay plugin. It's really much simpler than you would think. It just requires a few simple tools, some non-native things to Ableton Live itself. But it's a really fun sound. Feel free to play around with this. I'd love to hear what you guys come up with. Feel free to send me anything that you do with this sound. Anyway, that'll be it from me today. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and you'll hear from me soon. Take care.